Hi there. Today I'm having a chat with Robert, and Robert's the president of the Canterbury Law Society. Hey, Robert, nice to have you.
Nice to be here. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, hey, look, appreciate your time. And look, hey, it's certainly been interesting times, hasn't it, over the last year? And as you and I were just chatting before, it continues to kind of throw up some curveballs as we go on and on.
Definitely.
Yeah. So thinking about it, the legal profession, certainly even before COVID came along, was going through some changes. What are your thoughts about what may happen over the next couple of years with what your thoughts, thinking and seeing?
Um, it's going to be interesting, especially for me being involved with students primarily. Recruitment is on everyone's mind,
Sure.
which is an issue this year. People are finding the job market is a tough one, and I see that continuing for a couple of years' time because we're going to have people are choosing to go back to university, I think, for like an extra year or two, not being able to find a job, and then they're going to end up competing against a larger cohort
Sure.
over the next couple of years, and whether we see huge demand for jobs return in that time is unclear.
Yeah.
From what I've been hearing, the smaller firms, especially here in Christchurch, are struggling. Less so. I mean, I can't really speak for them, but it doesn't seem to be the case for the larger national firms. It's definitely the Christchurch-based firms, sort of the small to mid-size, do seem to be struggling.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, understandably. You've touched on one of the challenges, which, as you've mentioned, is the concept of recruitment and actually getting a job and the number. Any other thoughts that challenges might come up, technology-wise, the way we practice law, how people are experiencing lawyers and what they're wanting from law?
I think we'll see a change in terms of technology. I think that the work that lawyers often do, like document reviewing and that sort of work, will probably end up being farmed off more towards technology. People don't want to be paying, $150, $200 an hour for qualified lawyers to be doing that sort of work, which is fairly robotic, really. Be interesting to see how things go in terms of working arrangements. Obviously, we've experienced more flexible working arrangements this year out of necessity. But whether that goes forward, I don't know. Some people have been saying, yes, people will be able to work from home as and when they like. They can do the work whenever. But I think for a service profession, I think clients are always going to want to be able to contact their lawyer in standard business hours. So that's probably going to curb a move towards complete flexibility.
Yeah. No, good point. With that, obviously there'll be some opportunities. What are your thoughts, or what are you hearing from your cohort or people who are sort of within the context that you think just around opportunities?
In terms of job opportunities?
Well, any opportunities. It could be job, could be opportunities to work in sort of a variety of areas, opportunities that might present itself and not just law, but outside of law.
I think people have been struggling this year to get, even just getting an interview this year.
Yeah.
Has been really tough. So I know there's a lot of people feeling a bit put out by that. One of the slightly unfortunate things for a law society such as ours is that we rely on the financial support of the larger firms. So we naturally end up promoting their agendas to students, because without them we couldn't offer the events and things that we do. So I think we could do more to push some of the alternative careers paths. I know College of Law has, even just a good website that has a range of different career opportunities.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know, they're less talked about here than I'd perhaps expect. Like the government policy work, things like that. It doesn't. I don't hear much about it.
Right.
Around the university.
Okay. So as you mentioned, that's a good opportunity, isn't it? Because you've touched on it a little. You know, what we're seeing is there are other pathways which could be in-house, it could be government, could be policy. In many, you know, the disciplines that are taught through law are transferable to other professions. So working in marketing or working in comms or working in, and how can we support the profession, but particularly people like yourself who are coming through and thinking about careers, you know, how can we present some of those opportunities and market them beyond just traditional kind of law firms?
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is.
But good to have the conversations, which is why, you know, I think the more we have the conversations and the more that we think laterally and the more that we promote law as a transferable profession.
Yeah. The New Zealand Law Students Association, sort of our overarching body, we've had a lot of discussions about whether the law degree is a specialist or a generalist degree. I think increasingly we're seeing it being more of a generalist thing rather than just a professional qualification.
Yeah.
I mean, it teaches some great skills.
Totally. Absolutely. Great skills.
You come out of the other end of it thinking in a completely different way, which I think is extremely valuable for people. And people probably need to, I don't know, perhaps there's a bit of a stigma around finishing your LLB and not going on to be a lawyer. People feel like they've failed in their mission.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, great to have these conversations because it doesn't necessarily need to be a singular pathway. Yeah. So for you, you know, what are some of your personal hopes? What are some of the things you'd kind of like to do? Or, and again, doesn't necessarily have to be law, but what are some kind of things you think, hey, that'd be pretty cool?
I'm going into a firm next year.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm sort of torn as to whether that is a long-term career thing and I'll just work my way through, or whether it's like a stepping stone for something else. I mean, I think one of the things that could come from working in a firm for a few years is you gain a lot of commercial sense.
Yes.
And probably put you in good stead to go out there and start your own thing.
Yes.
You'd make a lot of connections. Well, you'd probably end up with, I don't know, just a good commercial step.
Yeah, absolutely, Robert. Oh, well done. Look, you're spot on. I think it gives you great commercial experience, great opportunity to work alongside, you know, some really seasoned practitioners. That whole corporate and the understanding of kind of external client relationships as well. You know, great opportunity. So well done.
Cheers.
Yeah. Hey, look, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. It's good to get your views. You know, you're in the thick of it. And of course, if we can support, please let us know. But really appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, Robert. And that's us signing off.